In this video, we are going to give an easy explanation about male and female reproductive systems, including the intervention of the hormones released by the endocrine glands, hypothalamus, and pituitary.
First, we'll present you the organs that conform the male reproductive system, that are urinary bladder, pubic symphysis, vas deferens, that it is the duct that transports the sperm from the epididymis to the penis, that is the male organ sexual intercourse. It has a long shaft and an enlarged tip called the glans penis, which is covered at birth by a layer of foreskin. The shaft of the penis has a spongy, erectile tissue containing distensible blood spaces. When a man is sexually excited, the arteries in the penis relax and widen, increasing blood flow to the penis, causing it to become enlarged and erect. Also, the veins that usually carry blood away from the penis get compressed, thus maintaining the erection. Other organs that conform the reproductive system are the erectile tissue testes, that are two egg-shaped male reproductive organs located in the scrotum, and the testes produce the sperm and male hormone testosterone. The scrotum, that is a part of the external male genitalia located behind and underneath the penis, it helps to regulate the temperature of the testes by holding them closer or farther away from the body. The epididymis, that it is an elongated organ on the posterior surface of a testis that stores sperm while they mature. The urethra, it is the membrane that extends from the urinary bladder to the exterior and that in the male conveys semen as well as urine. The anus, the prostate gland, that it is situated at the origin of the urethra. The tube that carries urine out of the body. The prostate secretes a milky substance that makes up around 20 to 30% of semen. Ejaculatory duct seminal vesicle, that it holds the liquid that mixes with the sperm to form semen. Also the rectum, the urethra, the and the testes are gonads that make sex hormones and produce sperm. These sperm mature within the epididymis, that are tightly coiled ducts outside the testes. The sperm need to be able to swim to the egg. That's why maturation is required. After the sperm leaves the epididymis, they enters to the vas deferens, where they are stored. Each vas deferens passes into the abdominal cavity, where it curves around the urinary bladder and empties into an ejaculatory duct that connects the urethra.
There are several hormones that regulate the male reproductive system. The first one is, and the most important, is called the gonadotropin releasing hormone, or GnRH. This one is produced in the hypothalamus, and it is not responsible directly for male sexual behavior or characteristics, but it releases two other hormones that do that: the FSH and the LH. The first one is the follicle stimulating hormone. This is released in response to the stimulus of the gonadotropin releasing hormone, and with this follicle stimulating hormone, it stimulates the production of sperm in the testes of the man. Then we have the luteinizing hormone, or LH, which is also released in response to the GnRH hormone. This is by the anterior pituitary in response to the action of the GnRH. Well, this causes the interstitial cells of the testes to produce the testosterone. Then I'm going to talk about testosterone. These are made in the testes and it produces and maintains the secondary sexual characteristics of the male. The enhanced musculature, the facial and body hair, the thickened larynx and the deepened voice, and the enlargement of the genitals. It is also responsible for the sex drive and it works with FSH to stimulate the production of sperm. Then we have the inhibin. The hormone inhibin is produced by the testes also, and they are responsible for monitoring and controlling the health and the maturation of sperm. If the sperm levels are very high, the testes release inhibin, and this sends a signal to the brain so that it reduces its levels of GnRH, and well, as a consequence of this, the FSH levels are reduced and the LH levels are reduced too, and all the sperm production slows down.
Located one each side of the upper pelvis, whose functions are to produce their oocytes or eggs in a process called oogenesis, and the female sex hormones estrogen and progesterone, which are the hormones that control the uterine cycle. Extend from the uterus to the ovaries, but they are not attached to them. Rather, they end in finger-like projections called fimbriae that, together with the ciliated lining of the oviducts, guides the egg into the oviduct and sweeps it towards the uterus. The fertilization of the egg with the sperm takes place in the oviduct. The resulting zygote continues to divide as it travels toward the uterus, becoming an embryo. The embryo reaches the uterus in about 1 week. Hollow muscular organ about the size and shape of an inverted pear. It is lined with a vascular tissue called endometrium, and this is where the embryo is embedded when it reaches the uterus in a process called implantation. The endometrium forms parts of the placenta. If the embryo implants somewhere other than the endometrium of the uterus, then it is considered an ectopic pregnancy. Opening at the lower part of the uterus, it connects it with the vagina. Long muscular tube that lies at 45-degree angle to the lower back. It receives the penis during sexual intercourse and serves as both the birth canal and the exit for the monthly menstrual flow. Large hair-covered skin, folds that extends from the mons pubis, which is fatty prominence over the pubic bones covered with pubic hair. Two small folds lying just inside the labia majora, and they extend from the opening of the vagina to circle the glans clitoris, forming the foreking. Contains erectile tissue that becomes filled with blood during sexual stimulation. The cleft between the labia minora contains the openings of the urethra and the vagina.
The hypothalamus ultimately controls the functions of the testes because it secretes a hormone called gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH. During the follicular phase, FSH, released by the anterior pituitary gland, stimulates the development of a follicle in one of the ovaries. When the follicle matures, oogenesis is initiated and continues, and the epithelial cells of the follicle multiply and secrete the female sex hormones, mainly estrogen. When the estrogen levels arise, negative feedback stops the secretion of FSH so that the follicular phase comes to an end. The estrogen spike causes the secretion of GnRH from the hypothalamus, which in turn causes a surge of LH from the anterior pituitary gland, resulting in ovulation on about day 14 of a 28-day cycle. The ovulation is the release of the secondary oocyte from the follicle and into the oviduct. When the ovulation ends, the luteal phase begins. During this phase, LH promotes the development of the corpus luteum, which consists of the follicle cells left behind after ovulation. The corpus luteum secretes female sex hormones, mainly the progesterone. Gonads. The gonads are the testes in the male and the ovaries in the female. Both are under the influence of the gonadotrophic hormones FSH and LH. The female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone, have many effects of the body. The estrogen stimulates the growth of the uterus and the vagina and is necessary for egg maturation and the secondary sex characteristics in females, which include female body hair and fat distribution, more subcutaneous fat accumulation, and wider pelvic girdle. Both of the female hormones are required for breast development and regulation of the uterine cycle. The gonadotropin releasing hormone, or GnRH, is released in the hypothalamus and stimulates the release of FSH and LH from the pituitary gland.
Now it's time to talk about birth control methods. The first ones are the oral contraceptives or birth control pills, which contain various mixtures of estrogens and progestins that are chemicals similar in action to the progesterone. They prevent pregnancy mainly by negative feedback inhibition of FSH and LH. Vaginal ring. What it does. The ring is made of flexible plastic and delivers estrogen and progestin. Just like the combination pill, you place the ring in your vagina for 3 weeks and then remove it for 1 week so that you have a regular period. Diaphragm. Made of rubber and shaped like a dome, a diaphragm prevents sperm from fertilizing an egg. It covers the cervix and must always be used with a spermicide. Women must be fit for a diaphragm in their doctor's office. IUD. It may be a surgically implanted copper device that prevents sperms from reaching the air, or also it may release hormones. The intrauterine devices are more than 99% effective and good for 10 years. Female condom. The female condom is made of polyurethane or soft plastic and protects against STDs and SIDs. It is inserted deep into the vagina over the cervix, much like a diaphragm. Unlike the male condom, the female condom can be put into place up to 8 hours before sex. Male condom. Male condoms protect against pregnancy and STDs and SIDs, including HIV. Worn properly, condoms prevent sperm from entering the uterus. Patch. You can place the hormone-releasing patch on your arm, abdomen, or buttock and rest easy for 1 week. Implant. About the size of a matchstick, the implant is placed under the skin on your upper arm. Implants last for 3 years and can cost up to $800. They are nearly 100% effective. Sterilization. Women can undergo with tubal ligation, a surgical procedure that blocks the fallopian tubes from carrying eggs to the uterus, or tubal implants, a non-surgical technique in which a small coil is inserted into the fallopian tubes. The sterilization process is less risky for men. A vasectomy is a minor surgery in which the tubes that carry sperm from the testicles are cut.